Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the Chairman and CEO of General Motors, Mary Barra.
Well, thanks, Tom, and good morning, everyone. At General Motors, we are very pleased to join you and others to sponsor the first ever Global Automotive Cybersecurity Summit, and we're very pleased that it's in Detroit. I also want to thank Secretary Fox, Senator Peters, Congresswoman Dingell, Administrator Rosekind, Commissioner McSweeney, and all of the other government, business, and academic leaders who are here or will be spending time with us today for this very important topic. This event underscores the fundamental importance of bringing together thought leaders from all sectors to examine the state of automotive cybersecurity and explore ways to strengthen our mutual cyber defenses. Even more important, it points to a unique responsibility that we have to develop proactive solutions to cybersecurity challenges facing society today. Around the world, consumers increasingly expect to have constant and seamless connectivity. By 2020, it is estimated that there will be 50 billion smart devices in use around the world, or about 7 connected devices for every man, woman, and child on the planet. Growth in the so-called sharing economy is now a global phenomenon in everything from cars and bicycles to apartments, tools, and even high-end clothing and jewelry. And the trend toward more sustainable living and environmental-friendly policies are as important now as is the growth in urban population centers. By 2020, projections are that there will be 41 global megacities with populations above 10 million. That's up from 28 today. Each of these trends is reflected in today's global automotive industry. In fact, I fully expect that the auto industry will change more in the next 5 years than it has in the last 50. And at GM, we are very excited to be in the leadership role in much of this transformation. In the area of connectivity, GM's OnStar service has responded to 1.3 billion consumer requests since we launched the service 20 years ago. By the end of this year, we expect to have 12 million OnStar connected vehicles around the world, and by 2020, we expect to have about 75% of our global volume to be connected. And this is just the beginning of where connectivity will take us in the future as we work to expand and improve the customer experience, both inside and outside of the vehicle. Around the world, car and ride-sharing services are also expanding exponentially. Globally, an estimated 15 million people use shared mobility services such as ride-sharing or car sharing today. By 2020, this number is projected to be more than 50 million. And at GM, we combined a number of our sharing programs earlier this year under a single brand Maven. We now have programs in half a dozen cities, as well as programs in Germany, China, and Brazil, and we have more launches on the way. We are also very excited about our strategic alliance with Lyft. We believe that the convergence of connectivity, ride-sharing, and autonomous vehicles will shape the future of personal mobility. The societal trend towards sustainability is mirrored in the industry's drive toward alternative propulsion, especially with electric vehicles. And later this year, we will start the production of the all-electric Chevy Bolt EV, which you know is available for you to check out in the lobby. And this will be the first electric vehicle that cracks the code of affordability and a 200-mile-plus range. And traditional and non-traditional automotive companies are making substantial investments right now in autonomous driving and parts of the industry. And this promises customers greater convenience, lower cost, and improved safety. Taken together, these interconnected trends and technologies are allowing GM and the auto industry to stretch the boundaries of what is possible for consumers. They are giving us unprecedented opportunities to develop vehicles that are more environmentally friendly, smarter, and safer for our customers. But while today's technology creates many new and exciting opportunities, it also creates challenges. And one of the challenges is the issue of cybersecurity. And make no mistake, cybersecurity is the foundation to each of the technologies I've discussed. In addition to the rapid growth of vehicle connectivity that I've already mentioned, there are two additional factors that are contributing to cybersecurity risks for today's auto industry. One is content, the fact that personal data is increasingly stored and/or transmitted through our vehicle networks. The other is complexity, which opens up opportunities for those who want to do harm through cyber attacks. Consider that in 2000, cars on average had about 1 million lines of code. The first generation Volt, which was introduced in late 2010, had about 10 million lines of code. That's more than an F-35 fighter jet. Today, the average car has more than 100 million lines of code, and it won't be long before it surpasses 200 million. Now, we all want customers to take advantage of the technology that is changing the automobile and opening up new experiences that were frankly unimaginable when I started in this business. But we also want our customers and their data to be safe and secure while they're using all these new features. Cybersecurity protects not only for physical safety of the customer, but it also protects their privacy and their data. And I'm quick to add that at General Motors, we view cybersecurity not as an area for competitive advantage, but as a systemic concern in which the auto industry's collective customers and the society at large are best served with an industry-wide collaboration and sharing of best practices. At GM, we recognize that the threat landscape is continually evolving, and sophisticated attacks are specifically designed to circumvent even the most robust system designs. Whether it's phishing or spyware, malware or ransomware, the attacks are getting more and more sophisticated every day. Not only is it important that the industry design our products with cybersecurity in mind, but we also need to work together to develop the capabilities to detect cyber incidents, protect against these attacks, and mitigate the consequences when and if they occur. A cyber incident is not just a problem for the automaker involved. It is a problem for every automaker around the world. It's a matter of public safety. And this is why General Motors strongly supports the collaborative approach championed by Secretary Fox, Administrator Rosekind, the Alliance of Automobile Manufacturers, the Association of Global Automakers, and members of the Auto ISAC. At GM, we have made cybersecurity a top priority. We've established a dedicated cyber organization, and we have a senior executive running our cybersecurity team, who many of you know, Jeff Massimilla, and he will participate later today in the roundtable discussion. We've also taken a leadership position within the Auto ISAC, with Jeff serving as vice chair. And we have made a very deliberate decision to embrace the relationship with the White Hat research community. Earlier this year, we launched a coordinated disclosure program that puts out a welcome mat to researchers and cybersecurity experts, inviting them to identify vulnerabilities in our systems. This is an approach that Silicon Valley has practiced for years and is very good at, but with few companies have embraced beyond the software industry. Our program at GM is new, and we are still learning best practices, but we are committed to expanding and evolving it and working with the research community to improve our cybersecurity posture. But while all of these actions are important, the single most significant commitment we have to make to cybersecurity at GM is to commit to collaborate with everyone here and today to address our shared cybersecurity issues and concerns. Yesterday, the Auto ISAC released an executive summary identifying cybersecurity best practices for the auto industry based on the proactive safety principles issued by Secretary Fox in January. I want to applaud these efforts of Executive Director John Allen and the members of the Auto ISAC, all of whom put in a tremendous amount of work to get us where we are today. And I'm extremely pleased to say that General Motors will support and endorse all recommendations in the executive summary, and we commit to implementing the actions and best practices outlined in this document. Above all, we strongly agree with the Auto ISAC's call for a commitment to expand our collaborative efforts and work together to mitigate cyber threats that present potential risks to our customers and society at large. Let me also say, at GM, we are also committed to collaborating proactively with NHTSA on one shared goal of enhancing the vehicle cybersecurity atmosphere for everyone. NHTSA and the industry have made a concerted effort to work together through the development of best practices, and at GM, we are committed to continuing this valuable collaboration as we move forward. A very important point I want to stress is that unlike a number of other industries that have already been seriously affected by cybersecurity, the auto industry has the opportunity to address cyber concerns before we experience a serious incident. We can work together today within the auto industry and tomorrow to mitigate our risk, and we can learn from companies and industries that have already addressed cyber threats on a large scale. In fact, I'm extremely pleased that we will hear this afternoon from Tom Kirchmeier, Vice President of Special Projects at General Dynamics, about how one company in the defense industry started a long ago to approach cybersecurity and mitigate risks. I believe we can learn a lot from General Dynamics' experience that can help the auto industry get out in front of cybersecurity before we face a fielded threat. So I believe we have a real opportunity to work together today and in the months to come to move the industry forward. The global industry is changing faster today than it has in 100 years. Many facets of the traditional industry are being disrupted, but this creates exciting new opportunities to rewrite the rules of vehicle use and ownership for the benefit of our customers. I believe it is essential that leaders from a wide cross-section of industries, from automotive to defense to aerospace, work together with government, law enforcement, academia, researchers, and the cybersecurity community to develop proactive solutions to the cybersecurity challenges we all face. And I believe we have a real opportunity to do that here today for the safety and security of our customers and of society in general. Cybersecurity is one of the most serious challenges we face, and we need to make it an industry priority. This summit is an example of what we need more of, all of us working together to achieve what none of us can do on our own. I want to thank Billington CyberSecurity for their role in bringing us here today, and I want to thank each of you for your commitment to being a critical part of the solution. Let's work together to leverage our collective strengths and knowledge to protect our customers, their privacy, every time they get in a car. Thank you.